Max Holloway is once again in tricky territory in his career after delivering yet another dominant performance in the UFC Fight Night 225 main event in Singapore with his third round knockout of Chan Sung Jung, sending the Korean Zombie into retirement from mixed martial arts in devastating fashion. One of the great highlights in a legendary career of Holloway, who just continues to show that despite a storied UFC past and so much he's been through, ups and downs, championship runs, and more, that he is still relevant, still a big-time factor. I think obviously the odds coming into this fight and the expectations of him to win prove that, but he had to go out there and deliver, and he absolutely did with a huge win. And it once again leaves questions about where does he go from here. The situation necessarily hasn't too much changed in the past year. He still has the 3 losses to the current featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski, and that is going to be a thorn in his side. For him, I think first and foremost, you wait for a likely next title fight between Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria to get on the books. I'm sure it won't be too far away from now. I think you wait and see what happens in that fight, and you be Topuria's biggest fan going into that. And if he wins, the landscape changes. Perhaps Holloway gets the title shot if they don't do a rematch with Volkanovski for whatever circumstances in this hypothetical situation. And for him, that's got to be first and foremost. But if Volkanovski continues to retain, turns back another challenger in Topuria, that leaves Holloway in a tricky spot, the same spot he's been in for a while. I know he said the goal is to get another title shot, Volkanovski or not, but that 4th fight is just going to be a real hard sell when it's 3-0. Perhaps some circumstances lead to that happening, but you'd have to imagine if Volkanovski wins, he's going to be looking at a move to lightweight once again, trying to achieve that champ status, which leaves Holloway kind of in waiting. And he has obviously taken out many of the top contenders, pretty much the entire top 5 at this point, minus Topuria, who we expect to fight for the title. So you really have to wonder what he's going to do here. Many of the people in the top 10 don't make sense right now. Maybe you could do a matchup against like a Movsar Evloev, who's obviously undefeated right now and has earned a step up, but how many people want to see that? How interested is Holloway in that fight? There's, of course, been the idea of him moving back up to 155 again and taking on some of those elite names, seeing Michael Chandler thrown out there if the Conor McGregor fight doesn't happen, Justin Gaethje, etc., etc. Any fight with Holloway and those guys would be electric, but it's really hard to say if that makes sense for him right now, especially if Topuria is able to win the title and change the entire narrative of this division. So Holloway, the advice to him would be just wait and see what happens in the next title fight and then take it from there, see what makes sense, because right now there is no absolutely clear option for him after defeating Chan Sung Jung.